Hey everybody, welcome to hayfrosells. That's me, I'm Jeff, or Fro, or hayfro, whatever you want to call me. Welcome to the new subscribers that have come on board. Today we are going to be talking about some results of the reset, waking up your store, refreshing your items, whatever you want to call it. If you're new and you've not seen the how-to video, I will link it below, and then I will also link the video that was a follow-up to that video where more questions were asked by viewers and addressed in that. We like to think of this as a little bit of a collaboration channel, interactive, if you will. The viewers, the people who leave comments they're just phenomenal, way smarter than me. I'm just a conduit here. And I also want to remind people, because there have been a lot of viewers that have come on board over the last couple days, and they might not be aware of the button that, so there's an option that you can deselect to require buyers to enter in their credit card information before making an offer or bidding on an auction. If you have not deselected that, I am going to link a video that Arena Vision did. He goes into a way better job, way better explanation that will show you and walk you through exactly how you do that. Why you might want to do that is because it could be preventing some people from buying your items just because they don't want to enter in their information. And the reason I'm bringing this up is we want sellers to have action steps that they can actually take to help generate sales. And that's another action step. If you are on the fence about it, I completely understand. If you want to keep it on, I completely understand that as well. I found it to be helpful. And again, this wasn't even my idea. What reminded me of this right now is a viewer, I can't remember your name and I apologize, actually suggested it to me. I deselected it on my account. I immediately saw an increase in my sales relative to where they had been. And so, by doing the eBay reset and potentially deselecting that option that you have could help. Both of those things are things that you can do, things that we have in our control. So again, I will link Arena Vision's video in there. He shows you exactly how to do it. All right, so today we're gonna take a look at some results that people have kindly submitted. And if you are seeing results, please submit your experiences, observations, questions, comments about this, what you've learned, what you've experienced. It's all incredibly helpful to the community. This is not actually a result. This is actually something I wanted to bring up. This was an interesting comment by Best Life 8709. He's basically saying that eBay is part of this ESG scoring. Now, what that is it's environmental, social, and governance scores that are an essential tool for investors to assess a company's sustainability and ethical performance. Now that I said that mouthful, it has to do with inclusion, credit scoring, and climate pledges. Therefore, some servers are shut down. They can't be running all servers everywhere in order to comply. Different regions are on different servers. They must do this in order to meet their carbon offset pledges. Has anybody heard about this? Does anybody think that there's any validity or truth to this? Because when I read this, my immediate thought was, okay, eBay has a business, and their business is housing our items on their page and then connecting buyers with sellers. And then they make, they take their percentage from that. That's their business. To say that some servers are having to be shut down because their business is too big is kind of mind-boggling to me. It's kind of like, this is your business. I was thinking along the lines of, let's say you were going to get into a taxi. He drives all around town. That's his business. eBay's business is our servers. But are you saying, like, if I'm applying this to a taxi cab, it's kind of like you want to go 10 miles down the road, you get into the taxi, he drives 2 miles and he pulls over and he's like, okay, I got to stop. I got to stop because of my car, I got to reduce my carbon footprint. So you're just sitting there, and then enough time passes, he starts driving again. Enough time passes, they turn the servers back on. Like, how does that even make any sense? Like, I don't know. This is just me thinking, and maybe I'm super ignorant about all of this, but I just, to think that they have to shut down servers for climate change kind of baffles my mind a little bit. Any thoughts on that? All right. Patricia Quintana says, when you end and sell similar, what happens to your promoted listings campaign? I just find that it goes like whatever you're promoting at, you have that. If you have selected, I select all items for mine, and it just kind of falls right back into being promoted. So I don't think it has any effect. MS says, thanks for the great video. I reset my eBay listings. Looks like he has 131, and I've already sold 8 things overnight, including many of my more expensive and niche items that have been listed for months. I'll make sure to do this kind of reset fairly regular to test this isn't just a one-off. Great, awesome. And I mean, you sold about 8% of your store. That's pretty good. Freeform Rocket says, did the reset at noon Mountain Time today. I have just a hair over 900 within the first hour. I got 3 sales. Yay. Traffic did go up on page views. We'll see how much more I get in the next days. Thanks for the tip. Great news. There was some really, really good feedback. And there's been an overwhelming response over the last couple videos. There's probably like over 500 comments between the 2 videos, and I've done my best. I know I missed a couple, but yeah, it felt good from my perspective to see that other people are feeling good about selling again. That was why Jack and I, for those of you who don't know, Jack is the one who actually came up with this idea from his experiences back in June, and then somehow he got away from it. So, and then we tested it. So Concept 85 says that he tried this strategy, and here are his numbers. Now he basically gives a bunch of statistics, and they're all really good. Like I'm just going to give so before he was averaging impressions 9,000 organic. After the reset, 137,000. So it went up like 126,000. Before promoted 115,000, after 174. So the total, the 2 combined before was 125,000, and then after the total organic and promoted impressions jumped up to 315. Before, I'm just going to say, before the page views were 110, average, after went up to 491. And he got, let's see here. He was able to send out 9 offers. I don't know if it translated into any sales. It is tedious. He says it is tedious, and I agree. Like, this is not ideal, guys, but this is just a stopgap. Hopefully, I know since I did this video, I know that there are people out there who have been doing it. I'm going to include another link to a channel. I'll talk about that in a minute. April Cooper says, hey, I watched your video and decided to test it out. I had 0 sales. I had a 0 sales day on eBay. I had 160 on Posh. It was 7 Central Standard Time when I started the process. 5 hours later, I had 21 offers to send. I've never had more than 4 offers to send at a time. and writing this at 5 a.m. I've had 2 sales overnight. This might be a game changer if you have a store subscription with enough available listings. And I do want to point out that one of the viewers mentioned that I might want to mention for you to keep an eye out on how many active listings that you actually, how many free listings that you actually have left. You don't want to go over, right? Like depending on what store you're at, you're going to be allotted a certain amount. So yeah, just keep an eye on that. Okay, I wanted to get the name right. Primo Kino. This is a couple. I actually got to spend some time with them on their live today. They have a small channel, but they've been reselling forever, like 24 years on eBay. And when he saw my video, it prompted him to make a video because he's literally been doing this reset thing since June. And I'm gonna include this link below. These guys are a riot. I thoroughly enjoyed this video. They're playful, they're funny, and they have, like, he shows his back office and he gives some insight in his experience with using promoted and dynamic, and it's definitely worth a watch. Check it out. It's when you start it, you might not think it's going to get serious, but he does get serious, and he's been doing this a long time. Yeah, so check that. I got lots of links I got to remember to put in here now, but yeah, so check that out. James Kelly says, sold a G1 transformer for $109 and a Hebrew Torah Bible for $120. It took a day to get sales after ending 90% of my store and selling similar. Hope the high priced items sell through the weekend. If I remember quickly, you were really struggling with some sales, so I'm really glad that this got you some sales. BNE Sean Benishan 1264 says, I took the plunge this afternoon as you both explained, and I would have written earlier, but so sorry, I was busy shipping. Oh my God, all caps. 8 sales, one after the other, and the night isn't over, and a ton of watchers, so I've sent many offers. Thank you. It hasn't felt this way since April. I know exactly what you feel, because when sometimes when I'm doing it, like today, I woke up and I had 3 sales overnight, and I sent out about 20 offers. And, there's times where I'm sending an offer and then it refreshes after that offer sent, and then there's another one in there. And it just feels good to know that, when people are taking the time to add something into their watch list, they've viewed it, they've expressed interest in it, and now it's our job to close that sale. And it just, I feel like it gives us a little bit of hope that our items are actually being seen, I think. So I want to talk to you about a little technique that I'm kind of experimenting with coupons. Like, I've never really used coupons ever. Jack and I were talking, and he's used them, and his experience is still, he's had some success, but not anything consistent, right? And so what I'm going to try is, and I have been trying, and so far nothing's converted yet. I created a coupon, and then, so here's my thinking behind this. When somebody leaves feedback, they have taken the time to thank you or give you a comment about their experience. And when it's positive, that's a good thing. So I've created a coupon, and I don't know, once a day or just whenever I'm in my solds, my solds, and I see that there's a positive feedback, I will click send coupon. And then here's what I do. I say something to the effect of, thank you for your purchase, and then I state what it is. So because I don't know how many coupons these people get, right? And maybe they might just, if someone's like, thank you, please use this for a future purchase. Well, maybe they'll use that, but I like to insert, and again, I'm just testing this. If any of you guys have better ideas on how to use coupons, please. This is a sharing, like I said, interactive. By stating what they purchased and then sending the coupon out, it reminds them of what they bought, and it reminds them of the good experience that they had. And it might, that one little step that you do, it might lead to more conversions. So again, I just started doing this a couple days ago. It's not led to anything. Maybe it's not even a good idea, but we have to keep trying things. If anything, on some level, I believe having a YouTube channel is slowly making me be a better seller, or at least it's prompting me to try things. You read something here, you hear something there, you pick something up, you try it, you incorporate it, you make it your own. It's all good. It's all about learning. It's all about growing. It's all about, like one viewer said, getting that money. Yeah, Darth Thrifter. He made a video about his experience. Check his channel out. He's been here since the beginning, and he's a great guy, Mike. Just over 24 hours since the reset, I have 8 sales for $350. Pretty amazing considering I only did $650 in the last 7 days. So he's been having some good feedback, good results from this. I know that he was getting offers to send out watchers, and yeah. So yeah, Darth Thrifter, DarthThrifter. Pamela Hair Supply. I'm gonna just paraphrase a small part of what she said. Having the velocity and page views and watchers. She wasn't seeing skyrocketing sales, but I think I read somewhere since this comment, she had been having some sales. But having this velocity and page views and watchers and the ability to extend offers to watchers is really encouraging after the drought of activity this month. And she has a small store. I believe it's like 200. Yeah, less than 200. Which followed the past May, June, July, August, and September of very slow sales. But October has been the worst of the past 6 months. Okay, I did cover that one. BK Vending Flipping says, I did my entire store yesterday, 650 listings, sold 2 items, have had more page views yesterday than I've had in months, and sent out 15 offers and received a few as well. I feel like just getting an offer from somebody is really rare these days. It's like you either make a sale or a buyer adds it into their watch list. It's like there's no like middle ground. It's like, it's weird because in my experience, most buyers don't have any problem sending out lowball offers, but it's like, I mean, I'm not even really getting those every once in a while. But yeah, that reminds me. Let me finish this comment. Let's see. Can't wait to try this all over again in 2 days and see if I can get even better results as I continue to list new items as well. Yes, you know what? You got to keep listing, guys. I'm still under the belief that you do have to keep listing. You do have to keep having fresh inventory in there. So just an update. This is still BK Vending Flipping says, so just an update on day 2 so far. 4 sales, page views are down from yesterday, but still higher than any other day for the last few months. Yeah, the page views will consecutively go down. It'll spike up high the first day, second day will be lower, and the third day will be even lower. And then the fourth day, it pretty much will settle right back into where it was prior to the first day. And that's generally when you do the next reset, hence every 4 days. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to do it. Like I'm going to a comic convention later on this evening. As a buyer, not as a dealer. but it's Saturday and Sunday, and I don't want to like rush. I don't want to wake up and rush to do it, because you do really need to focus. Like, oh, that's another thing. Polish Pete did a video on, yet another thing I need to link. Polish Pete did a video on how to recover your deleted listings. If you accidentally delete something, there is a way that you can do it. I'm not going to talk about it because he goes into very detail. He'll show you how to do it. I will link that below as well. Let's see here. I believe there's just one more I want to read. All right, I guess that is all the comments. There was no other ones that have popped up. I want to tell a story, and then talk about promoted listings, and then another story. All right, so the first one is I sold a Goosebump book. It's, from the 90s, R.L. Stine. I think they're actually making a movie of this series. And some of those books, will actually sell for decent money. And decent meaning if you buy them in a garage sale for $1/4, or you buy a lot of them and they're in really good condition, check the comps on them. Like, I actually got a couple for free. Like, I can't even remember where I got like 7 or 8 of them for free, and a couple of them were in really, really good condition. They'll sell from anywhere from 10 to 20 bucks. And so this guy, he wanted extra pictures. Again, in the past, whenever people are asking for more pictures or causing me more work, my attitude would be like, oh, this sucks. But now, I'm trying to come around to like customer service first and foremost, always. So I sent him a couple more pictures, and then he ended up purchasing it. He made an offer for 10 bucks. I think I had it for 14 or 15. So I accepted. And then he sends me a message and he goes, too bad this other book did have some writing in it. And so I thought to myself, so the other one was priced at I think it was like 13 or 14 as well. So this is how my mind works. Let me just offer it to him for 5 bucks. And, because the amount of work to add another book to an order is nothing. And if I can increase my per sold that shipment package, thank you, that package from 10 to 5, well, that's a 50% increase. So I'm like, what if I discounted it to 5? Would that make it more appealing to you? I mean, he said no. But, I'm just trying to illustrate, and sometimes we don't always have like an in to upsell on somebody. Sometimes you do. It really depends on what it is. Like, this other person bought this this Danger Girl action figure set, and it's in this long box, and it's just gonna be a pain to ship. I'm gonna have to Frankenstein a box up. I don't really want to try and upsell him on that because it's really long. It's longer than this screen. And I'm afraid of what he might add, and it could create, empty space in the box, which is, going to increase the shipping and handling. And I already kind of undercharged on the shipping and handling a little bit. So there are times where not being able to upsell it happens. But always be thinking about how you can increase the total shipment value. That is another thing that, I always want to work on and try and be better about that. Promoted listings. Some people have asked, what do you promote at? Do you not promote at all? I do promote. I believe mine is 3.1 and my wife's is 5.1. Or maybe mine is 3.5 and hers is 5. I know hers is 5.1. And I actually, that's the most I've ever promoted. And the only reason I did that, and this was before I learned about this method of refreshing your store, is because I was like grasping at straws. I'm just like, why is nothing working? Why is, my store just really felt dead. And I don't know if that's by design. I don't know if that's eBay turning off the valve to get us to promote higher, but I haven't changed any. Since I started the reset, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep everything the same, because I don't know about you guys, but I get super paranoid. I'm like, okay, well, if I change it, is that going to have a negative effect on my sales? So my point in even bringing this up is, if some of you do choose to experiment with promoted listings, kindly please share your results, like what works, what doesn't work, any observations, because if it can prevent other people from going through and doing something that you did and it didn't work, it will save other people the hassle. And again, not one person's experience might not translate into the same experience, but it can't hurt to share that information as well. Like you would want somebody to share information to save you from doing something that you would end up not seeing any results over. And then another thing that I wanted to talk about, see, I don't know about you, but man, I like constantly all day as a content creator, it's like I'm just running through things in my head like, oh yeah, I want to talk about that. Oh, I want to mention this. So Darth Thrifter, this is a message for you and for anybody else out there who sells these kinds of products. I was watching your video and you showed a FedEx hat that you sold. I didn't look. I know it exists. There's actually a policy inside eBay that you cannot sell post office, FedEx, Amazon, like Amazon hat, UPS hats. Actually, Amazon, I'm not 100%, I'm pretty sure. Basically anything that somebody could use to impersonate a courier. I'm pretty certain Amazon as well. You can't sell them. They will get taken down. I don't know if you will get a defect on your account. I actually had a UPS hat taken down about 7, 8, 9 months ago. And they quoted whatever policy breach it was. I thought it was completely ridiculous because I like selling service hats, like you mentioned. It's there's a market for that. And I think it's completely ridiculous that we can't sell those. If someone wants to get a hold of a hat to impersonate a courier, they're going to do it anyhow. But, I mean, this is like part of the culture that we live in. It just seems like the things that we're allowed to resell are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. And it's like when I'm at the thrift store or I'm out at garage sales, it's like the fact that I have to like police myself and kind of do a double take and be like it literally just happened. I can't remember what it was. That I was like, I don't think I can sell that, or I don't think I want to take the risk of listing that. Maybe it'll come to me. I don't know. But yeah, be careful. It's not worth the risk. And if you want to double check, call into eBay and ask them, say, hey, am I allowed to sell? But I know that there's a policy. I know that it's somewhere written down that you can't. So just look into that. I don't want to see you or anybody else out there. And this is what's valuable about watching, experienced resellers who have, don't use the word bomber in your titles. You will get a Vero over that. If you don't know that, I didn't know that 6 months ago. Do not use the word bomber. It's up to us to help each other because eBay clearly doesn't have our back when it comes to all these things that they could easily implement, little checks and balances to help sellers out, to not get a Vero over the word bomber because the Mad Bomber company patented it or copyrighted it. I don't know, one or the other. So yeah, and then the funny thing was I was basically selling a bomber hat and got a Vero, and called in and was complaining, trying to get to the bottom of it, because I'm like, what, does somebody own the word bomber? And they're like, yeah, they do. And I was just like, oh, okay. Like a month after, I literally still had like a little teddy bear that had a bomber jacket on it and had bomber in the title, and that wasn't caught. And I was just like so dumb that I didn't actually go through my own listings after I got a Vero for that. So I'm just telling that story to hopefully save some people some pain. All right, I'm gonna finish the show up. I've got like 6 different things that I've sold, and one of them there's a story behind. And I just kind of want to show a few things, get people caught up. This Hello Kitty mug, it's actually really nice, and it's like brand new. And this has been it's from 2003, so it's literally a vintage. I'm really shocked this only sold for $14 plus shipping, and all my items have plus shipping for new people. That's been in my store for a while. I got an offer on that, and sure, like I'm generally not picking up things like this anymore. I don't know. There's always going to be a market for Hello Kitty, so I shouldn't say that I'm not going to. Actually, I would buy this again. But what I would probably do differently, I would list this locally going forward, and eBay, hoping that I sell it locally, because I'm basically anything over £1 that has decent value that I think someone would buy locally, I'm straight up. That's my version of cross-listing right now. Sold a lot of Simpsons comics. Always going to be a Simpsons fan. This is actually the first issue of Simpsons, and these are all in really good condition. Sold these for $70, and I had an issue. So basically, this is issues 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and then like this special one. And I don't know about you guys, but when I get an offer, I try to go in and look at the listing and make sure there's nothing wrong with it to save myself a little bit of headache. And I did that. And I noticed that there was a discrepancy between, so basically, instead of issue 4, I put 3 in the title. But I had the right issues in the description and on the pictures. But I didn't want to accept it and then explain to him, because what if he really wanted issue 3? So I messaged him beforehand, and I was like, and I explained to him, and I tried to make it as simple to understand as I could. I basically was like, the description is correct, the pictures, what you see in the pictures is correct. I just flipped a number. Is that okay? I'm gonna accept your offer. Is it okay? And he was like, yeah. He's like, yeah. He's like, I was pretty much looking at the pictures that to give me an indication of what I wanted anyhow. So I was like, okay, cool. So then I accepted, and he in the notes, he was like, I appreciate that you took the time to go ahead and confirm that. So me and that buyer already off on the same on a good foot, right? Everything that you can do, package well, because the first thing they're going to do when they get that package is they're going to open it up. If it's packaged poorly, you're already off to a bad start. I sold this Dragon Ball Z card. This was $16, including shipping. This has been in my store for over 2 years. And I do have a few others. And again, I literally know nothing about Dragon Ball. Like, I don't know the value of these things. I bought a bunch of them, and some I listed, basically the ones that I thought looked cool, like that. It has like this prism. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? $12. Let's see. This pin, Solidarity with Chili, this sold for $16, including shipping. And it's got some damage, and it's got like a bent back. Actually, I have another one of these too. So now at least now I know what someone's willing to pay for one of these with a bent back. Sold this Hollywood Frankenstein Universal Studios pin for $12, including shipping. And then this is the last thing that I have. this is fascinating to me, and I believe this to be a direct result of the reset. So this is the third one out of this Monster Hunter lot that have sold in the last week. I've had these in my store for over, I want to say at least 2 years. Somewhere between 1.5 years and 2. I had 7 in the set, and then one of them, when the first one sold, luckily it wasn't the one that I noticed was broken. I don't know how it got broken. But so one sold, and then 2 or 3 days later, another one sold, and then 2 or 3 days later, this one sold. Whereas none of them had sold in 1.5 years. And it just reminds me that the buyers are out there. They're out there, and that, you know, that, in my opinion, that barrier, that disconnect between the buyers and the sellers that is literally preventing sales from being made, it's real, it's there. And I don't think that, I think that there's something fundamentally wrong, and that eBay actually doesn't know how to fix it right now. That's just my belief. But my belief doesn't mean squat right now, right? We're just trying to survive, right? 2 local sales today. I have this skull in a lot, and at one time I did have a whole bunch of skulls listed on eBay. And I just decided to take them down off of eBay and list them locally as a lot. And the guy wanted just this one, so he made me an offer for 40 bucks on it, so I'm gonna take that. And then this is the local sale. Now, I did have this listed on eBay, and I'm pretty sure that this is a book that should have sold on eBay. You know, when you figure you have access to 100 million customers, this should have sold, but I'm more than happy to sell this on locally. This one, he made me an offer for 50 bucks, and yeah, I'm gonna take that. Okay, I am going to conclude this video. Wish me luck, guys, at the con. Hopefully I find lots of really cool stuff that I'm able to resell. That's my roots. That's what got me started in this reselling journey. I have an origin story video that I did that talks about it. I'm not going to talk about it again, but you know, like, I'm excited because the last time there was this is kind of like one of the bigger shows. The last time I got COVID and I couldn't go, and man, that sucked. That was the second time I got COVID. It was like the first big show since COVID had happened, since everything shut down. And you know, we waited through all of that COVID time for things to reopen, and then it does, and then you get COVID. So I was really particular. But I actually almost messed up. My sister-in-law invited me to, like, she has season tickets to the Canucks, and we were going, and it was like a special, we weren't going to watch the game. We were going to watch the away game there in like a special section with my brother-in-law and his friend. And after I got home, I was like, you know, there were a lot of people there. I was like, I hope I don't get COVID again. This was on Monday, knowing that the con was this weekend. So anyhow, one last thing too. If you're still here, that means you're probably a longtime viewer. A month ago, I decided I was gonna make health more of a priority, and I wanted to do, and yesterday was the 1 month. I wanted to do 50 miles. I got to 47. And part of it is because I've been so busy this week with the channel. The channel has really kind of taken up a lot of my time. It takes a lot of time, like putting together videos, filming them, you know, questions, comments, you know, just thinking about content. You know, it's not like I think about content. Content just kind of comes to me, but you do kind of have to put it in a coherent fashion, right? You can't just blabber, 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 right? So I got to 47 miles this month. I'm going to consider that a win. I didn't run 47 miles last month. I probably ran, I don't know, 10. I wasn't going to the gym as much. And so I do feel better. I'm excited to continue this trend. I knew this was going to be a busy weekend, so I'm going to get back to the gym on Monday and start it all over again and go and try to hit my 50 and beyond. So health is a priority, guys. Like I know things suck, and I know that the tendency is to, and I'm guilty of this as much as anyone. When things are in the toilet, I work harder. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna overcome this slow sales. I'm gonna overcome not making X amount of money by working more. And that feeling of working hard and diminishing returns in the form of low sales, it eats at you. It eats at your mind. It eats at your body. And you know, without our health, we got nothing, guys. So with that said, peace and blessings to you guys. Feed that YouTube algorithm, and I will see you soon. Have a great weekend of sales.